Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we will dive into how to add the dark mode in Windland using React Tree Fiber and Valtio. And I will show you how we can create a smooth toggle between light and dark mode in the project. And we will add the HTML overlay that we need for that, and also all the necessary changes we need to do in the Three.js scene to get it working. Uh, Please subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and let's jump right in. What we want is to create a way when we press this button, we change some parameters inside the Three.js scene. And this is a very common thing that we always need for different things. In this case, I will be using this technique to enable a click on this button to change something in the Three.js, but you can use the same technique to enable like night mode and sound buttons, camera movements. You can use this for all kinds of things. And we start by creating a global state. What we need in a way is to click on this button and let Three.js know that a global value has changed, and then we can trigger actions inside Three.js. And this is what we do, and we will do it by using Valtio. So I will stop my terminal and I will install Valtio. And once you install it, I will run it the server again. And now I can close the terminal and I will create a new file here called, like in the source folder, you just create a new file called store.js, and this store will hold everything we need. And what we are doing here, we are creating a proxy. This way, this will be our global state, and then we can manage everything inside of it. And I'm creating a state here, and I'm exporting it from this file, and this will be a proxy, which is like our global state. And inside that, I'm creating an object with my values. In this case, I just want to use one single value, which is the night mode equals false, two dots false. And that's it. Basically, that's all that you need. So to check if it is actually working, let's go back into the Wineland project. And I just want to use that value here. I want to read from the value. So for that, I need to use the use snapshot hook from Valtio. This is giving us the ability to read the values from the global state without creating a lot of unnecessary re-renders. And you can read more about Valtio documentation on their website. So I will create a const here, and I will leave empty for now. And I will say use snapshot, and then I want to use the snapshot from the state that I just exported. And I will change this path because it's here in my in my source file folder. And then from here now, I can grab whatever I want from that thing. And if I use the control on Mac control spacebar, it will show me all the availables. And I have this property night mode, which is a Boolean that I declared inside. And if I save it, and let me bring the console here, and just to check if it is working, if I say console log night mode, it says false. But if I go there in the store file and I say true, now it's true. See? So any change that I apply on this thing is available everywhere. For example, if I do the same thing, those two lines inside the overlay for the Windland, I can also have access to that thing. So I will do the same, and of course I will update the imports because I need to import the snapshot and the state. And I need to change this path here. Now I have, as you can see, two true values being logged, one from the Windland and one from the Windland overlay, which is the HTML part. But in this case here, what we want to change the value itself. So we don't need to use Snapshot. We can change the value completely without use Snapshot. So what I will do, I will remove the snapshot from here. And all that we have to do is to attach a function to this button that will change this value. So I will create the function outside here. And what this will do, it will grab the state.night mode and it will invert it. Pretty simple. And then here at the button, we can say on click, we want to handle night mode. Let's test to see what happens. So when I press, as you can see, now, because I'm not changing this value, remember here I'm changing the value, but in the Windland, I'm just console log it. And what is happening every time that I click on this button, I'm triggering a re-render. And you can see because all of the trees and everything is changing. And this is not what I want. I want to change the background of the scene without re-render this entire component, meaning that I don't need, or probably I don't want to do this in this component here. So let's move things around a little bit so we can set this parameter properly. Let's try to do this inside the sky component because I think it will be more safe to do it this way. And I will set the scene dot background color, and I will create a new parameter here inside. So the new color will be, if the night mode will be true, it will be 0, otherwise will be this color. And of course, we need to import the use snapshot as well. And because I'm not creating the use tree hook, I also need to add that. And I need to import use tree. So now, as you can see, it is working. When I press night mode, Three.js is automatically computing this change because this value is changing, and then it is re-rendering this entire component, and it is not re-rendering the entire scene because this time I'm doing this change on this component only. Not everything else is re-rendering, just the sky. And as you can see, it is working. Of course, we also need to do some changes to the fog because the fog looks weird. The fog needs to match, and it doesn't need to be completely black. It can be a very dark blue color. So let's change that. Let's do the same with the fog. And now, as you can see, when I change the color for the night mode, using the same technique, the night mode also enables the fog to be darkened, and that's great. But we also need to change the colors of the lights. because the light and the environment map being used here is too bright for a night mode. And let's adapt that as well using the same technique. I will actually copy this line and now we'll change the environment lights. This is another component that needs to be affected when we change the night mode. So let's do that. I will import use snapshot and of course my state. And then I have access now to the night mode. And remember, again, we are changing the value here with the state dot night mode. But when we want to read the value, you want to use a snapshot from that state and then grab the night mode. That's why we are not reading the value itself, but a snapshot of it, which is the global state managed by Valtio. And now let's adapt some of the parameters in this component to match a night mode a little bit better. Okay, so I think we finished. So what I did, and I think it looks a little bit better, I'm changing both the preset on the environment map and the intensity when we have the night mode to be darkened as this, and we have color for the night mode light former. Also, it is a little bit different. So as you can see, and of course you can play like and adapt to your project. Maybe you don't want this to be that much darkened. Actually, I think this is a little bit better. And yeah, that's it. That's basically it. We've finished the dark mode implementation. Of course, you can do more things with the same technique, and it will look uh, adapted to your needs. But basically, that's it. One thing that I think I also want to do is to change the color for those particles because I think they are too bright for a night mode. And maybe the particles should be a little bit darkened. Let's do that as well. I think I need to grab a different color. Yeah, so now again, look at the amount of components has an impact when we change the night mode. And of course, you can create a global function as well to change the night mode instead of using that button to do it. But keep it simple so you can understand. This works as a normal global state variable management, but we are at the same time like with one change in this component here, when we actually change the night mode, this is the change action in the global state management. And then we change the value inside the store. And with this, using the use snapshot, we change some parameters on the sky, some parameters on the lights and environment, and some parameters inside the particles component, all without impacting any re-render in this main component here. So as you can see, the trees are still bending to the wind with no impact. It is lightning fast. And that's where you can implement the night mode using Valtio and Three.js. And I think I will do some more stuff for this project. I will probably change also some parameters on the global post-processing so we can have more bloom at night than at day, but the process is the same. And the one thing that I wanted to show you here in a very quick and easy way is how to implement Valtio and how easy it is to use a global state management like Valtio. So no context, no sharing context. It's pretty simple to use. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to the channel if you like it, and let me know in the comments what you want to learn next, okay? See you next time, and bye bye.